Thank you for coming back to hang with me again. I am Lynetta Shay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is you are viewing this video. So we are in step number 3, which I am going to call releasing trauma. What we want to do is replant here with purpose. So if you're unsure of where we are in the first 2 steps, please refer to the last 2 videos to get up to speed on where we are thus far. We've dug up those deep-rooted seeds of trauma, and we saw exactly how deep those roots go. So now we've kind of like cleaned them off, right? We've shaken them, we've purged them, we've got all the excess dirt, all the soil that we don't need to carry with us into this replanting season, right? Because what we are going to do now, we are going to do with purpose. I really want to say that the hurt heals if you let it. So you've actually gone through something. Now you've worked through it. Now you've overcome it. So those are, 3 steps that you've taken to literally get to that place where you actually have a testimony. You can literally tell somebody like, hey, I was going through this at this time in my life. I felt this way at this point in time in my life. I really didn't know how to handle it, but I took the time to do the work to actually figure out what was wrong, what went wrong, what is going wrong inside of me in regards to whatever I'm feeling from the situation or the trauma or the tragedy or whatever you've been holding on to that has been holding you back. Now you're at this point where you're going to be able to take exactly what you went through and use it for purpose. Because now you're like, hey, you have some scars now. You have like real war wounds, okay? Like you've had some leaves that have fallen off of this plant that we are repurposing, but it is the same tree. It is the same plant. So although these roots have gotten longer, what you don't realize is they have also become stronger, because every situation that you go through in your life gives you the ability to build character. So when we're repurposing and we're replanting here, this is the new us. This is the new character that we have developed since we have put all of these things behind us, because we chose to walk a much lighter path. We chose to release and let go and just operate in the healed versions of ourselves. Me myself, I definitely have those moments where it is so easy to go back to the default setting. I have a problem with getting upset with people when they hurt my feelings. So I would say things that were harsh or that completely just wanted the person to know that I no longer want any parts of this relationship at all whatsoever. And that could have hindered and hurt my growth moving forward. As a person who is supposed to cultivate relationships, I needed to be able to learn to navigate through the relationships properly. The reality of the situation is that there are always going to be some sort of conflict and problems inside any relationship, whether it be business, whether it be friendships, whether it be parenting, whatever it is. There are going to be some things that come up where you're not going to agree all the time. So you have to be able to navigate through those situations properly without hurting yourselves and others. So this is kind of like what you've learned along the way, unspokenly. You just figure out how to use and apply the steps where and when they are needed. And that's the beauty of this whole thing. With you replanting with purpose, you now have an idea of where you want your life to go now. And that is the only thing that matters. So just be sure that in this season of replanting, to take it easy on yourself. Give yourself some grace, because it is natural for you to at times go back into your default setting. But that is when you have to catch yourself, forgive yourself, and say, okay, I was overwhelmed. And we're not going to do what we used to do when we became overwhelmed. We're going to do what we said we want this new version of ourselves to do, what this healed version of ourselves would do, what the higher version of ourselves would do, how they would operate. And this is what you're going to stand on right here. You're going to be happy in planting this new soil, because there's nothing but good that's going to come from it. But you have to believe, and you have to know, and you have to trust. And this is that faith. This is that faith that you have to have, right? As crazy as it may sound, through all of these things that you went through, this right here is your moment. Like, this is your moment. You figured, like, oh my God, I went through all these things. You didn't know what the purpose was. You didn't know how to handle the hurt and the pain. And now you've come to this place right here, right now, where you're able to really say, like, oh my God, I really overcame. Now you have a for real testimony. Now you can listen to others and hear those pain points, and they're going to resonate with you, and you're going to be able to minister to someone, to testify to someone, to give good advice to someone. Why? Because you yourself has actually been through this, and then you've gone through it. But not only did you go through it, you took the time to do the work that required you to heal from it and become a new version of yourselves. So when you hear that person who is talking down on themselves, who's speaking negative when it comes to their emotions and their mindset, who may even have a negative connotation about a certain situation or a way that they should navigate, you have an example of something that is similar that you can share with somebody to help change their perspective so that they can make a better choice. And this is what it's about. God gives us choices in all things. Life gives us choices in all things. The universe, whatever you choose to believe in, but there is always a choice. You can go this way or that way, and sometimes there are even more than that. You can do this, or this. There are so many different options for you out here, but make sure that you choose the one that is right for you, right? And in this season, we're going to be giving back. We're going to be giving back to those who want to have a different mindset. We're going to be giving back to those who want to heal and overcome from situations that they never thought in a million years they would be able to get over. But because you yourself has done the work, you're able to be a testimony and say, it can be done because I did it. And you believe in this 100% wholeheartedly as you are still walking your own journey, walking in that. Because the more you walk in that, the closer that you get to your next obstacle, the closer that you get to your purpose in life. Because please don't believe once you get over something that was so traumatic and that you've dealt with for so long that there's not anything else. What I've discovered throughout this healing journey is that there's always going to be some things that come up that hit you unexpectedly, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know those feelings dwelt there. I didn't know that I still had some pieces of me that were unhealed in that area. These things are going to occur. Some are going to be worse than others. Some are going to be very mild. You're going to be able to handle quickly. And others are going to have to dig deep because it's going to catch you off guard and you're going to be like, whoa, I was not expecting this. But now you have the tools. You can come back to these videos. You can look at your notes. You can go back through the steps of the things that really work for you in this situation to help you through the next situation. So that's what this is all about. This is really all about you gaining the tools to help you in all aspects of trauma and pain and where you need to be healed and where you need to overcome from some things. These are the tools. These are the steps that you take. And so these are things that you can carry with you throughout life. You can hold them dear to your heart and you can operate in them through various situations. So it's not just a circumstance or a situation where you can apply these things. These things can be applied through various areas of your life, and that is the beauty of them here. I'm not really going to chatter on too much in this particular video, but I'm so happy that you actually got here, you did the work, and that you're healing, and that you see that there was light at the end of that tunnel, that your prayers were being answered on the other side, that you now feel more whole as a woman, more whole as a man than you did before you took the steps to do the work to heal yourself. Know that you have healing powers and capabilities. Know that you can do it on your own. So it's up to you to learn what makes you stay in that calm state, what makes you not go back into the default setting. So this here in step 3, it's going to be about that too. What have you developed and what have you taken on so that you're not going back into your default setting, but you're using this new technique for yourself to get you through and overcome the other things, whether it's breathing, whether it's meditating, whether it's praying, whether it's, boxing or working out, doing cardio and running, just screaming at the top of your lungs in a secluded place, going to the water, which is what I do. I love the water, and I just kind of like cry it out and talk about it there and figure that I leave it there in the water and it just washes away for me. That's my own personal thing, but I find that it really does feel as if something has been cleansed away when I do that. That is my way of purging, and I value it and I appreciate it very much. And hopefully you find something that is equally as accepting to you in your spirit, that you feel so comfortable with that you just live by it. Oh my God, when I do these breathing techniques, it just helps me so much. My mind is more clear. I feel like I've released tension and stress, and I can get through this day, or I can get through the situations. I, meditated and I did yoga, and I feel so much more relaxed and calm and with a clear mind. I sat and I prayed, for 15 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour, whatever the time may be. And because I had that sacred moment with God, I feel that I've released everything to him, and I know that he's going to take care of it. And I know that he's going to guide me in the way that I should go to be able to navigate and move properly in the direction that I'm supposed to go. So I hope that this helps you on your journey, and that you believe that whatever it is you want to cleanse, that you want to release, that you want to get rid of, you are able to do that. You just have to be willing to put in the work. It's not as hard as you think. The hardest part is actually putting that one foot in front of the other and just doing the work, accepting that there's something there that you need to release and that you need to get rid of. And that's really just the real beauty and reality of the situation. So I am going to leave you with a scripture. So this is going to come from Matthew chapter 9, verses 35 through 38. And it reads, "And Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no herd. Then saith he unto his disciples, The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few." Then saith he unto his disciples, The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. So for me, reading the Bible, everything is about interpretation, how you interpret things. And I want to imply this to us releasing trauma. What stands out to me there is when he says the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. So when we are talking about healing and replanting in new soil, that is work. That is the labor. That is where the labor comes in. So you have to be willing to put in that work, to do that labor, to get to the plenteous harvest, the harvest of happiness, the harvest of joy, the harvest of abundance, the harvest of having a testimony, the harvest of victory, the harvest of overcoming. What is the harvest that you are looking for? What is the harvest that you are wanting to reap? You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be real with yourself. In order to get to that point, you have to do the work. You have to put in the labor. It is there for you. He has it for you, waiting for you. All he wants to see is that you're willing to do the work for whatever it is that you asked for. The harvest is plenteous and the laborers are few. But I want to step into my power and say that I'm willing to labor. I'm willing to do the work to get exactly what it is I asked for. And I hope that you are willing to do the work as well, because that harvest is what we came here for. That harvest is what we're after. It's not gonna mean much if you don't get to that harvest. But I'm telling you, the work that you put in is going to be everything. You're going to learn so much along the way that is going to carry you throughout life, that is going to give you the wisdom that you need in this lifetime to pass along to others. Believe that you are great, you can do great things, and you can overcome anything. I am Lynetta Shay. Thank you for rocking with me. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.